Everyone, please settle down. We'll begin soon. Dignitaries on the dais, esteemed guests of the academic community, heads of the various departments, academic and management council members, faculty, administrative staff, and my dear friends. It is indeed both an honor and a privilege to stand before you on this momentous occasion of the 75th anniversary of Savitribai Phule, Pune University. This is Amulya Echageri.
And I am Anushka Puri,
your host for the session.
To commemorate this event, I stand with a profound sense of excitement as we gather for this illustrious conference termed Biology Beyond Boundaries, Mitochondrial Insights, Computational Breakthroughs, and Clinical Transformations.
This occasion marks a celebration of the remarkable strides in the field of biology and symbolizes the collective efforts, commitment to transcending boundaries and unlocking the mysteries of life itself.
So before we begin, let's take Goddess Saraswati's heavenly blessings and start this conference on an auspicious note by lighting the lamp. I request the esteemed guests to do the honors. I would like to request the choir group to welcome the audience with Vidyapeeth Geet.
So please everyone stand up.
वंशभेद दूर, लाख लाख कंठातून हाच एक सूर. जातीभेद धर्मभेद वंशभेद दूर, लाख लाख कंठातून हाच एक सूर. करुणेच्या चरणाशी नकहो विज्ञान, ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान. पुण्यमयी दे आमाक्षर वरदान. माणुसकी धर्माचा अर्थ जाणतो, श्रमनिष्ठा हे पवित्र तीर्थ मानतो. माणुसकी धर्माचा अर्थ जाणतो, श्रमनिष्ठा हे पवित्र तीर्थ मानतो. हृदयातून समतेचा निर्भय अभिमान, ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान. पुण्यमयी दे आमाक्षर वरदान. सेवतच मुक्ती ही मंगल दीक्षा, न्यायात समजागृती ही सत्व परीक्षा. सेवेतच मुक्ती ही मंगल दीक्षा, न्यायात समजागृती ही सत्व परीक्षा. हे विश्वजिगर मुचे मंत्र हा महान, ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान. पुण्यमयी दे आमाक्षर वरदान. पुण्यमयी दे आमाक्षर वरदान. पुण्यमयी दे आमाक्षर अक्षर वरदान.
Thank you, respected dignitaries. Request you all to please be settled down. I would like to request Professor Rajesh Kache, Senior Professor and former Head, Department of Biotechnology, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, and the host convener of the conference to present the welcome address. Professor Gache has close to 3 decades of research and teaching experience, multiple patents, and almost a century publication to his credit. He has been the main driving force behind this conference. We would like to request Professor Gache to address us.
So, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Pune, which happens to be a city of traditional heritage, a hub for education, and a growing economy. On this momentous occasion of 75th anniversary of Savitribai Phule Pune University, we are very happy and privileged to welcome you all on behalf of Organizing Committee for Biology Beyond Boundaries, and we extend a warm welcome to each and everyone who has gathered for this august scientific gathering. We are deeply honored to welcome our distinguished guest on stage, the president of today's inaugural function and Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Suresh Gosavi, who is the chief patron of this international meeting, basically a dedicated researcher from laboratory and a driving force and motivation for organizing this particular conference. We are also equally fortunate and feel proud to have Padma Bhushan, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, as a chief guest of honor for this international conference, who has emerged as a beacon of inspiration in the realm of business, healthcare, and philanthropy. As a chairman of the renowned Serum Institute of India, Dr. Cyrus has revolutionized the landscape of healthcare, not only in India, but across the globe. Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla's visionary leadership, unwavering commitment to public health, and philanthropic endeavors during COVID-19 pandemic is testimony for his dedication to making a positive impact on global health outcomes. Friends, if at all we see God in human, I think Dr. Cyrus has saved millions of lives in the COVID time. Give him a big applause for this biggest one. We're also honored to have another guest, and we are also happy to introduce our another guest, a chief guest, who is world-known clinical scientist, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, who embodies the pinnacle of leadership, innovation, and advocacy in advancing healthcare solutions on a global scale. As a chief scientist at the World Health Organization, Dr. Soumya has been at the forefront of shaping global health policies and initiatives to address some of the most pressing challenges facing humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our distinct honor to have a special guest for today's function who is a trailblazer and whose visionary leadership has redefined and remodeled the landscape of global health. Dr. Adar Poonawalla, as the CEO of the Serum Institute of India, the world's largest vaccine manufacturer, Dr. Adar stands as a ray of hope for the whole world for fighting against infectious diseases and the pursuit of world health. We have with us Dr. Mohan Vani, who is Director of National Center for Cell Science, our HOD, Dr. Smita Jhinjade. There are many renowned dignitaries in front of me, especially our former Vice Chancellor, Professor Nitin Karmarkar, who has made this beautiful hall, and this vision has come from his desk. Friends, as we stand on the brink of celebrating this 75th anniversary of Savitribai Phule Pune University, it is truly an honor to host this international meeting of brilliant minds in the field of biology, hailing from various corners of the globe. At the outset, we sincerely thank Professor Dhyanchandra, Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, USA, Professor Raymond from Rutgers School of Biomedical and Health Science, USA, for showing trust on our university and provided us all state-of-the-art inputs and gave us opportunity for hosting this international meeting. Professor Raymond could not attend this meeting because of his visa problem. As we all aware, the complexity of human diseases is progressively increasing. The efficacy of conventional treatment modalities is being challenged at several grounds, and therefore we need to have deeper molecular understandings of the disease biology. Dear participants, during 3 days of this conference, we are set to embark on a journey that transcends geographical boundaries and dwells deep into the realms of mitochondrial insights, computational breakthroughs, and clinical transformations. We appeal all our young research students, please make your presence at this conference is not just a participation, please consider it as a call for action. We encourage you to embrace this platform as a springboard for your ideas, a forum for collaboration, and a catalyst for game-changing research plans. Once again, we conveners on behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University extend heartfelt welcome to all of you. May this conference be a source of inspiration for all of you, enlightenment, value additions, and fruitful collaborations. Let me be very honestly tell you that my colleagues and our students have taken immense efforts to make your stay more comfortable for these 3 days. I hope you'll enjoy in campus for 3 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
We would now like to call upon Professor Dhyanchandra, who is our foreign convener from USA. He's currently a professor of oncology in the Department of Pharmacology and Therapeutics at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, New York, USA. He has an extensive experience in mitochondrial biology, cell death, and prostate cancer biology. We would like you to address the conference, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Distinguished honorable guest and distinguished delegates. This is a really exciting moment for us. So on behalf of organizing committee, we welcome you all at this Biology Beyond Boundary 2024. And I'm highly grateful to all the speakers, foreign speaker, Indian speaker, student, and sponsor for taking all the effort to come here at this event. And I know that some of you might have traveled almost 24 hours to come here. So we're really grateful for this, your contribution, and also your commitment to kind of support this event. I am greatly supportive to Honorable Vice Chancellor for providing all the resources. Without that, it would not be possible, and other sponsors that I greatly appreciate. And we also grateful to Professor Rajesh Gache, who is the main force behind this event. We could not have done without his great support and leadership. So thank you very much for listening. And our another convener, Professor Raymond Burge, I'm also grateful to him, and he provided a lot of resources in terms of having a special issue for cancer communication and signaling. So I encourage all of you to kind of consider submitting paper in that, so that will provide more resources for this meeting. So almost 2 decades ago, when we started mitochondria research, we were thinking that mitochondria is mostly powerhouses of the cells. And now in last 2 decades, we have seen that mitochondria has become important every aspect of biology and many human diseases like cancer and neurodegenerative disease. And in last 2 decades, we have made significant progress. But still, we don't know much about mitochondria in terms of disease progression and also therapeutic aspects. So credit goes to all of you for coming here and sharing your ongoing research, which is really great for us. And thank you very much for your support and commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This conference, apart from being an enlightening scientific endeavor, also commemorates the 75th anniversary of our university, Savitribai Phule, Pune University. It was formerly known as University of Pune. It was established under the Pune University Act, which was passed by the Bombay legislature in 1948. Standing as an epitome of social justice and equality, the University of Pune has been a prominent symbol of independence and scientific developments in India.
Dr. M.R. Jaikar became the first Vice-Chancellor of the University of Pune. Immense support from Shri B.G. Kher, who was the Chief Minister and the Education Minister of the Government of Bombay back then, ensured that we have a campus extending over 411 acres. Apart from them, many great personalities have contributed tirelessly to make our university one of a kind. Since the year 2014, the University of Pune is referred to as Savitribai Phule Pune University. It was aptly given the name Savitribai Phule, who was a great social reformer and a pioneer in women's education for the pre-independent India.
Savitribai Phule Pune University was also known as the Oxford of the East. It has had a strong standing tradition of providing quality education, as it houses 46 academic multidisciplinary departments with 307 recognized institutes and 692 affiliated colleges, providing undergraduation and post-graduation programs. It is commendable that our university ranks 135 in the overall Asia and is amongst the top 20 universities in India as marked by the NIRF 2023. It also houses multiple research centers. We take a lot of pride in announcing that over 1 lakh students pass out every session per year. Hence, one can only imagine how many students have passed out from our university till date.
The cultural diversity of the institution is evident as it is a nurturing ground for students from all over the world. Multiple prominent figures, be it in politics like Pratibha Patil, who was the former President of India, or Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, the main brain behind the supercomputer Param, and Professor Sanjeev Galande have been eminent in the field of science. We also have Dr. Pula Deshpande and Dr. Mohan Agashe in the field of arts and many more who have been the notable alumni of this university. This reflects upon the university's influence on the state's intellectual and professional landscape, which enhances the state's global standing.
Today, as we celebrate 3/4 of a century of academic excellence, let us pay tribute to the pioneering spirits that laid the foundation for this esteemed institution. So let's have a huge round of applause for all those who played a pivotal role in setting up this prestigious university.
We at Department of Biotechnology, SPPU, have taken up this opportunity to celebrate the 75th anniversary of SPPU in a special way through organizing this conference, Biology Beyond Boundaries. The Department of Biotechnology, or DOB, was established in 1994 and has earned an exemplary reputation for the DBT Government of India funded 2 years master's courses and PhD programs. It also represents the Institute of Bioinformatics and Biotechnology, known as IBB. IBB was established in 2002 under University with Potential for Excellence Grant of University Grants Commission, UGC. IBB offers 5 to 6 years of integrated master's and MTech course.
The department promotes high-quality research and develops technically skilled human resources in the niche of biotechnology and bioinformatics. Both courses very popular among students, prospective employers, and scientists across India.
Since their inception, these departments have emphasized on recruiting meritorious faculty in various specialized branches, be it in biotechnology or bioinformatics, which is now being commendably led by our dear Professor Smita Janzade.
This conference commemorating 75 years of SPPU has been graced by several distinguished industrialists and scientists. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Cyrus S. Poonawalla, a successful industrialist, chairman and the managing director of the Cyrus Poonawalla Group of Companies, as well as the founder of Serum Institute of India, which led him to being named as the Vaccine King of India. We also have with us the chief guest for the event, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. She is the chairperson of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation and former chief scientist of the World Health Organization.
Today, we are also extremely grateful to be graced by the presence of Dr. Adar Poonawalla, the CEO and the board member of Serum Institute of India. We also have with us Professor Dhyan Chandra, who is an eminent scientist contributing to the field of mitochondrial biology and prostate cancer biology. He has served as a reviewer in various high-impact scientific journals and funding agencies. We're also pleased to have Dr. Mohan Vani, who is the director of NCCS Pune. Dr. Mohan Vani is an eminent cell biologist and an immunologist. To all the guests present, your presence here today is not only an honor, but also a source of inspiration for all of us.
We would now like to call upon our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi, to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your invaluable contributions and unwavering support on all fronts.
We now request Honorable Vice Chancellor to present a token of our love and appreciation to the dignitaries on the dais. We would like to request Professor Suresh Gosavi to felicitate Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, our guest of honor. Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla has made the Serum Institute into the world's largest vaccine manufacturer. With his persistence and dedication, he was nominated for the Nobel Prize for his work in humanities.
We would now like to request Professor Suresh Gosavi to felicitate our chief guest, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. She is a pediatrician and clinical scientist known for her research in tuberculosis and HIV. She was the chief scientist of WHO during the COVID-19 pandemic. We welcome you, ma'am.
We would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Suresh Gosavi to felicitate Dr. Adar Poonawalla. Dr. Ada Poonawalla was listed in Forbes 40 under 40 in the healthcare category in 2020.
He's also been recognized with several accolades. We would now like to request Professor Smita Zinzarde, Head of the Department of Biotechnology, to felicitate Professor Dhyan Chandra, our foreign convener. He has been honored with several awards, for instance,
We now request Professor Smita Zinzarde, Head, Department of Biotechnology, to felicitate Dr. Mohan Vani, Director of NCCS. Dr. Mohan Vani was an elected member of the National Academy of Sciences and is recipient of several awards.
I now call upon Professor Rajesh Gache, the convener of the conference, to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi. He shares keen interest in life sciences. Thank you very much, sir. It is truly a huge honor to having shared the same stage as such dignitaries and distinguished scientists and industrialists right here on the dais. Thank you very much.
This culmination of the 75th anniversary and inauguration of the conference Biology Beyond Boundaries is also highlighted by a very special event, and with great pleasure, SPPU would like to confer the Lifetime Achievement Award to our guest of honor, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla.
We would now like to call upon Dr. Vaijayanti Tamhane, who is a faculty at the Department of Biotechnology, to orate the citation. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, students. A very good morning to the respected dignitaries on the dais and participants, colleagues, and students. It's indeed a proud moment for me to represent Savitribai Phule Pune University, faculty, its administration, and students on this confluence of its 75th anniversary and the conference, Biology Beyond Boundaries. It is our tradition to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee by acknowledging personalities with outstanding contributions towards the society, by bestowing them with awards of appreciation. It is with great enthusiasm that we will like to bestow our respected guest of honor, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, with a Lifetime Achievement Award by presenting him with a citation and special trophies. It gives me immense pleasure to orate this citation. Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Padma Bhushan Dr. Cyrus S. Poonawalla. In 1966, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla founded the Serum Institute of India with the aim of making low-cost sera and vaccines that had been previously unavailable in his country. The Serum Institute is now the world's largest manufacturer of life-saving vaccines by number of doses, producing more than 1.5 billion doses a year that are used in over 175 countries to combat infections from diphtheria, whooping cough, hepatitis, influenza, rabies, measles, mumps, rubella, and many other diseases. His work has a global impact, with the Serum Institute protecting more than 2/3 of infant population across the world and saving lives of more than 30 million, mostly underprivileged children by providing them with affordable vaccines. Under Dr. Poonawala's leadership, the Institute works on a sustainable business model that ensures continued production of existing products as well as innovations. Till date, Serum Institute of India supplied more than 23 billion doses of different types of vaccines. He has established huge infrastructure ahead of time that was key during the COVID-19 pandemic and supplied more than 2.2 billion doses in a very short time, also in a very cost-effective manner, and saved countless lives. Success during COVID-19 was due to his visionary efforts for more than 5 decades. Dr. Poonawala is also a philanthropist who has donated millions of dollars as well as vaccines to public causes and underserved communities. He has received numerous awards and recognitions for his work, including Padma Bhushan in 2022, Lokmanya Tilak National Award 2021, Forbes Lifetime Achievement Award 2021, Dean's Medal by the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health 2022, ICMR Lifetime Achievement Medal by Bill Gates 2019, Lifetime Achievement Award by the Asian Business Leadership Forum 2019, Honorary Degree of Doctor of Science Honoris Causa by the University of Oxford 2019, Honorary Degree of Doctor of Humane Letters by the University of Massachusetts 2018, Vaccine Hero Award from Gavi for his commitment to global public health 2018, Doctor of Literature at the hands of His Excellency Governor of Maharashtra 2015. He was the first Indian to receive the Excellence in Inter-American Public Health Award from the Pan-American Health Organization 2010. Lifetime Achievement Award by the Honorable Prime Minister of India in 2005. In recognition of his exceptional contributions to the realm of biology, his indomitable spirit of innovation, and his exemplary leadership that knows no bounds, we proudly present Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. Cyrus S. Poonawala. I will now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi, to bestow the citation to our guest of honor, Dr. Cyrus Poonawala. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure to now request Chief Guest Dr. Soumya Swaminathan to present the trophy. I now request Professor Rajesh Gache, convener of this conference, to present a special trophy as a symbol of our respect to Dr. Cyrus Poonawala. Thank you, sir. Finally, let us all wish him the best of health and happiness with a huge round of applause. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, myself Mahima,
And I'm Shivam.
your host for the next part of the inaugural session.
It is indeed a privilege to have with us our guest of honor, Dr. Cyrus S. Poonawala, a successful industrialist, philanthropist, and the chairman and managing director of the Cyrus Poonawala Group, which includes the Serum Institute of India.
Let's welcome him to grace us with his words of wisdom. Please have a big round of applause for him. Sir?
Sir, please address the audience.
Dr. Gosavi, Vice Chancellor, Pune, Savitri Phule. I always remember as Pune University when so many years was Savitri Phule, Pune University. Dr. Swaminathan, honorable dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must admit I'm a very poor orator, so please excuse me for very truncated speech. I also thank the committee of the Pune University for bestowing me this prestigious honor today and showering me with so many praises which I don't know whether I do really deserve. I do remember with nostalgic memories coming as a student here and standing in a queue to get our certificates, including the prestigious certificate that I first got, of course, for being a commerce graduate, and later on from this great institution, the first of many accolades to follow, the PhD in 1988. This was a PhD which was interfactual interfacility awarded to me as a special case between being a commerce graduate and a science degree. Now coming back to nostalgic memories of 50 years ago, when Serum Institute of India was first established, it's a very small-scale industry with a capital of 5 lakhs of rupees. At that time, little did I know that the name given as Serum Institute of India would really be achieved. And there was objections from the director of the African Institute at that time as to how I should give such a big title to a small company in a corner of Harapsa, where my father had given me 12 acres of land in the corner of the famous Poonawala stud farms. So, with these humble beginnings, Serum Institute was growing stride by first making tetanus antitoxin serum, and that's how we kept the name going still as Serum Institute. Though huge growth took place in the field of vaccines. All that has been already read out in my citation, so I will not repeat it. It will take your valuable time. However, one point I have to keep driving home, and that is that 30 million children's lives, a minimum, and some adults, have been saved by our contribution. Not because of supplying the vaccine, but because of the price at which the vaccine was given, at equivalent to a cup of tea, that UNICEF and the African countries, the Indian countries, and all the other developing world could afford to buy the vaccine. Otherwise, vaccines were available. Otherwise, a big pharma had the vaccines available, but nobody could afford to buy them. And that same policy, I have requested my son to emulate me in giving the newer vaccines like HPV, malaria, at 1/4 or 1/5 the price of what the product is being sold today in the market. This is the most important landmark because of which all the competitors worldwide were not able to compete with us, and we got the opportunity of becoming, from a small-scale industry, to the world's largest vaccine manufacturer. I won't take up any more of your time. I contribute and thank everybody for having helped me right from the days of the Health Ministry, where I used to go with Mr. Mundra, for example, one of our oldest executive directors, with a begging bowl to the drug controller to give us licenses and virtually fall at his feet, which now, of course, things have changed and we have direct communication with the Health Ministry, who have cooperated throughout the period, especially when we wanted to launch the COVID vaccine, and to cut short the trials and get on with the delivery of the much needed product, which has saved millions of lives. And we are proud that we were one of the largest COVID suppliers to not only Government of India but worldwide. And today it is very significant to note the most difficult drug authority worldwide to please is the US FDA. And they've given us a license, and even last month we exported millions of doses of vaccines to the US. This is the first time an Indian company has been able to do it. Lastly, all this has been possible by the dedicated staff who have worked night and day and have been very loyal to the company and to the Poonawalla family, for which I would express my gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for blessing us today with your presence in this conference. It's indeed an honor and privilege to have with us today our special guest, Dr. Adar Poonawalla, the CEO of Serum Institute of India, the world's largest vaccine manufacturer. I request Dr. Adar Poonawalla to share his thoughts on this occasion. Okay, sir.
Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Wherever you want, sir.
Vice Chancellor, dignitaries on the dais, students, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're talking about biotech and this conference beyond borders and the future. I think in whatever we have pursued, we have always tried to identify the inequalities that have existed in the world and focused on developing vaccines and treatments for the underprivileged. And that's been our philosophy to, you know, not pursue a business strategy, but look at where the disease burden is causing the most death, mortality, morbidity, and all of that. So I think in whatever we pursue, or you pursue now in your future careers, I think it's important to focus on, you know, the problem and the issue at hand, and then the success sort of follows after that. Talking about innovation, you know, in India, traditionally pharmaceutical companies have been manufacturers, and they have just, you know, made products which are of a generic nature. We started off our journey that way because we had to start somewhere. But we also now are focusing a lot on innovation. Now there's a AI, which can, quantum simulation that can also be an area where you could look at, innovation and growing, where today you could, in theory, make a vaccine or drugs, a new drug, a molecule that could tackle various different complicated viruses and bacteria using that. And I think India now today, given Modi ji's environment that he has created, we see a lot of students, wanting to go abroad and study, which is fine. But I think eventually the opportunities are here in India. And if you see all the companies and all the major institutions, everything is made in this part of the world. Nothing is really made in Europe, in US anymore. And there's a reason for it. It's because we're very dedicated, our culture, are loyal, and the talent that we have in India is very special. And that's why you've seen a lot of Indian successful groups, not just in the pharmaceutical sector, but in all other sectors. So I think that's very important, that do whatever you have to do abroad, but then come back to India, because after all, you feel very different and out of place when you're abroad. It's not the same as when you're here. And it's the culture and the whole atmosphere here, and the government that's provided everything that today we could ask for. Maybe the traffic will improve over the next few years also. So I would just leave that as a thought with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi. The genesis of this conference is his vision, and it serves as an evident example of his dedication towards life sciences. I request sir to address the audience. Okay.
It's my honor and privilege to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Chairperson of M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation. She is a clinical scientist known for her research on neglected tropical diseases. She served as the chief scientist at the World Health Organization and played a crucial role in the global response to COVID-19 vaccine.
She has held key positions in various health organizations, contributing to the development of policies and strategies for disease control. She was also the director of National Institute for Research in Tuberculosis in Chennai. She was the Director General of the Indian Council of Medical Research and Secretary of the Department of Health Research under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for the Government of India. Please welcome our chief guest, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, for a talk with a big round of applause.
Namaskar and good morning to everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gosavi, Dr. Gache, the organizer, the guest of honor for today, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla and Dr. Adar Poonawalla, and the head of the Department of Biotechnology, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the audience. I know that we have many distinguished scientists here in the audience. I think the topic, biology beyond boundaries, is very apt, because I think in today's world, we all recognize that science cannot be constrained within walls, within departments, within universities, or indeed within countries. And that science is a transboundary endeavor, and that it requires not only people across the world to work together, but I think even more importantly, people across different disciplines. If you look at some of the latest discoveries in science that have made major, where we've made major progress in either understanding the biology of a disease, or indeed in making a new health product, be it a diagnostic or be it a vaccine, what we see is that when people from very different disciplines come together and try to address a problem, then there is a much better chance of solving that problem because you're bringing different expertise and knowledge to the table. So one of the things that I did realize during the pandemic, and particularly in my role as chief scientist at the WHO, was the importance and the power of collaboration between scientists, but also between the public and the private sector, between government and the private sector, and the fact that we had so many vaccines. And we always talk about vaccines, but we mustn't forget that we started from a point of having, the RT-PCR is the only diagnostic test, and which was available in a couple of labs in the country. In a country like India, we were able to scale that rapidly, but on the continent of Africa, for example, there were precisely 2 labs that could diagnose COVID at the beginning of 2020. And therefore, from there, we've come to the point where you can wake up in the morning, do a rapid diagnostic test at home, which is very affordable, very convenient, and then you can decide whether you are going to work or not based on the test. So hopefully this opens up the possibilities for us to address a host of other big challenges. And even if we focus only on the health challenges, of course, we have huge planetary risks like the climate crisis, like global warming. That is a massive crisis that's going to affect us in many different ways. It's already affecting us, both directly and indirectly. But we also face, because of precisely the global warming, the loss of biodiversity, the increasing urbanization and globalization, the future risk of pandemics, future risk of zoonotic infections affecting humanity remains very high, very, very high, and it's very hard to predict when the next pandemic will occur, but certainly it will occur at some point. The Serum Institute of India was literally the world savior during the crisis, and I'm not exaggerating, because based in Geneva, everybody was looking to Pune, not to anywhere else in the world, but to Pune to see where the doses, the massive quantities of doses that were needed during the pandemic were going to come from. And having personally visited the institute, it's beyond impressive to see the kind of advanced planning and preparation, that, and the investments that have been put in, both in terms of physical infrastructure, also in terms of course, human capacity. When we realized during the pandemic that despite the huge advances that were happening in science, and I'm also referring to the mRNA technology here, that clearly was proving to be one of the game changers that was able to provide us effective protection. It was also clear that not everyone was willing to share their knowledge and technology as openly as we would like. And therefore, we then set up the mRNA technology transfer program as an example of how knowledge should not be concentrated in the hands of a few, but really should be democratized around the world so that scientists in different countries could use or exploit the technologies to develop products for public health needs. And so it wasn't just about making more COVID vaccine. It was about how can you use mRNA technology platform to improve on it further, to make it, for example, thermostable, which has been done, and also use it maybe to develop a better TB vaccine, a better malaria vaccine, a better dengue or chikungunya vaccine, and to address a host of non-communicable disease needs. We know that cancer, for example, is increasing, and it's increasing more rapidly in the developing world. It's also true that the outcomes of cancer treatment are worse in the developing world, partly because of the fact that we don't have access to the most recent treatments, the personalized therapies, the CAR T cells, the gene therapies, etc., the biologics that are available in some countries. They're also very high price, so not everyone is having access, even in the high-income countries. And so the goal would be, and India definitely, I think, would play a leading role here in making affordable and quality therapies for diseases like cancer, but also for other non-communicable diseases. We know we will have a growing burden of neurodegenerative diseases in the future, of dementias and other kinds of diseases that are associated partly with aging, but partly also with, I think, many of the environmental exposures that we have today, which are creating a sort of pro-inflammatory pathways in our body are being activated, so that we are becoming much more prone to these kinds of diseases. So I think addressing the root causes on the one hand is going to be important. Addressing environmental pollution, addressing our food systems, addressing air and water quality, and also individual behavior change to avoid harmful habits. All of these would play a role. But at the same time, I think medicine also will need to advance to be able to treat those who fall sick. And we are seeing amazing advances. Adar mentioned the role of artificial intelligence in drug discovery, but also it can help. The large language models today are helping with also handling large volumes of data, of patient data, for example, but also in the interface that they can provide, knowledge on demand, both to healthcare providers, but also to patients. So I think there's immense opportunities here to harness and leverage the explosion of the AI technologies. But again, it's about how do we use it, not only in a useful manner, in a safe manner, but also in a manner that is ethical and that respects people's privacy and rights. So while I was at the WHO, we had released a document looking at the ethical and regulatory frameworks around artificial intelligence. And very recently, there's been an update from the WHO looking at the ethics and regulation of large language models for health applications. And so there are about 40 recommendations in that document that address both the people who are developing AI, the companies, the people who will be using the AI, let's say the healthcare providers and ordinary citizens, and also governments. And it's very clear that today, apart from the normal regulatory pathways that we need for drugs, vaccines, diagnostics, and so on, we are going to have to develop regulatory pathways for technologies that are enabled by AI, for example, but also for the new biologics that are coming, the new gene therapies, the whole new area, of biologics, where there's going to be a lot of exciting advances, I think, coming forth. How do we regulate that? What would a generic mRNA vaccine look like, for example? How would one approve such a product? How would you assure safety and efficacy? And particularly when we are targeting rare diseases, then we need to have a different paradigm, of regulation. So I think that we saw during COVID also that side by side, on the one hand, scientists were working to develop the products, but WHO was also engaged in conversations with the regulatory agencies around the world on how do we move these products through regulation in a way that is respects that does not compromise on the safety of the product. For example, this was one of the biggest questions during the pandemic, that how come vaccines got developed so quickly? How can we be so sure that they're safe? And so we need to be very thoughtful about how one approves these products, where safety is of utmost concern, efficacy, but at the same time looking at the urgency and the need, one will have to be a little more nimble perhaps and think about more efficient ways. AI could play a role here as well. AI could help us in many different domains, but again, it's the human brain, I think, ultimately that has to apply its wisdom. AI, we cannot call it wise, It may be intelligent, but I don't think it's wise. And human beings have become wise through generations of experience. And we also have the social connect with other people, and we have the emotional connect. And hopefully we can distinguish ethically what is right, morally what is right and what is wrong. So we mustn't give up all those, human values and just give ourselves up to AI to make decisions for us. But we can use and leverage technologies wisely in order to advance our understanding of human biology. But also, I think beyond human biology, today we've got to think about the planetary health, or One Health, as it is called. And it's very nice to be seated on the dais with a veterinary surgeon who's the director of, Dr. Vani, the director of the NCCS. And we were just talking before this about the need for animal vaccines and the need to address, because many of the diseases which affect humans actually are present in animals or will arise from animals. So I think there's a growing understanding today that you need to look at animals, plants, humans living together on this one planet. We need to live in harmony, and we know that human beings in the Anthropocene, we've kind of overpoweringly contributed to whatever's happening around us today. All the bad things actually that have happened in the last 50 years in terms of environmental destruction have been thanks to humans. So we also have to fix those problems. I think we have the ability and the capacity to do that. So hopefully this kind of coming together of various disciplines, you're looking at mitochondria, but you're also looking at cancer, you're looking at vaccines, you're looking at many things during this conference. And I should congratulate the organizers for having put together a wonderful program. I've seen all the speakers who are going to be there physically and virtually, very impressive speakers who will be sharing their experience and knowledge. And so hopefully the younger people are going to get really motivated to pursue their career in science. I think one thing, again, the pandemic did do was to maybe reignite some interest in science, because everybody could see that science was the one that actually delivered the solutions, to help us end the pandemic. So once again, many thanks to the Vice Chancellor and to Dr. Gache for having invited me to be here today. And I'm very honored to be sharing the dais with Dr. Poonawalla, who is, of course, one of the icons, I think, in India. Certainly, the Lifetime Achievement Award, I think he deserves many more and bigger awards, because I don't think many people have, not too many people can claim to have had such an impact on the lives of millions of people, not just in India, but around the world. So I do believe that we all owe him a debt of gratitude. And while his speech was short and he said he's not a great orator, but his deeds actually, is what has defined him and his life. And we all deserve, really owe a debt of gratitude to him. He could have gone into any career that he chose, but he decided that he was going to, focus on producing vaccines for the world's children. And so, again, very grateful to have shared the dais with Dr. Poonawalla today. And I would like to wish the university also on its 75th anniversary. It's a milestone, and that too, I think, being named after Savitribai Phule, it's again an honor to be speaking on this dais today. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that inspiring speech. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi, to join the podium. The genesis of this conference is his vision, and this serves an evident example of his enthusiasm in life sciences. I request sir to address the audience. Please have a big round of applause for him.
Namaskar, good morning. Honorable dignitaries sitting on the dais, the chief guest of this function, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. Then we have a guest of honor, Padma Bhushan, Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla, Dr. Adar Poonawalla. Then we have the keynote speaker, Dr. Amel Kara, my colleagues from the university, Professor Smita Jinzade, Rajesh Gache, then we have Dhanchan. We have dignitaries sitting in this particular hall. I would like to mention here a few names that when we started this particular conference, Biology Beyond Border, Bhushan Patwardhan, Professor Bhushan Patwardhan, Professor Vidyasagar, Professor Nitin Karmakar, and this is the third in the series of Biology Beyond Border. And this year the theme is mitochondria. To make a mention here that Savitribai Phule Pune University is one of the largest state university in this particular state, where at one point of time we are having 750,000 students enrolled. We are having affiliated system, around 1,200 institutes affiliated with us. Pune city is known as a cultural city. It is known as an education hub, auto hub, IT hub, and now getting a new recognition as bio-design and biomanufacturing hub. Thanks to the Serum Institute and other Poonawalla group, okay, who has given the recognition to this particular city in the pandemic, and not only in the pandemic, okay, it has started way back in 1966. I think 1966 year is a very good year because I also born on the same year, okay, so it seems that, okay, this thing started in 1966, where they always excel, so let's hope for the best, okay. As far as the Savitribai Phule Pune University is concerned, okay, like we have a very big research group working in the area of material science, especially for energy sector, environmental sector, and the health sector. As the entire nation is going through energy transformation, digital transformation, and AI ML transformation, and we are looking for one health mission, and towards that, okay, the groups from physics, chemistry, and the life sciences are working together towards the development of material and sensor development for early detection of disease, wherein we are working on infectious, non-infectious disease, wherein we are also talking about anti-antibody interaction, anti-antigen interaction, and this is one of the conference where we are having eminent scientists, okay, who have traveled all over the world, okay. We will be discussing this with the new generation, and since the SPPU is always one step ahead, wherein we are working with the industry in and around Pune. That way, SPPU is fortunate to have the National Institute around the periphery of 5 kilometers, like NCCS on campus, then we have IUCA on campus, then NCL, then we have ISER, okay, so that way we are having a good cooperation and collaboration with all these national institutes, wherein we are really focusing on the upcoming area where we are talking about the new materials, new drug design towards the infectious and non-infectious disease. With this brief, I once again welcome all the delegates on the beautiful campus of Savitribai Phule Pune University, and hope the deliberation and discussion in this conference will be really fruitful and will take up the new level, a new height in the area of mitochondria and the development of drug. Once again, I welcome you, and at this occasion, I would like to invite all of you to put your hand together, and let's congratulate the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is boosted to Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Santosh Kadwate, faculty at Department of Biotechnology, SPPU, to give us a brief idea about the conference proceedings. Please, sir.
Namaskar. Good morning. Dignitaries on the dais and of the dais, the participant, my colleagues, and dear students. I'm here to give a brief idea, information, and few instructions about this conference. This is one of the grand event held in India in a biological science, where more than 50 invited speakers, more than 15 oral presentations, and about 100 posters are going to showcase in this event. On the top of that, we have industry partners stalls outside displaying frontline technology to solve the mystery of nature. You are going to hear various talks from cutting-edge research in different areas that include disease, vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. The conference is in both physical and virtual mode at 3 different locations. On the one in this hall, Geology Auditorium, second and third at SPPU Research Park Foundation, which is adjacent to this building. All the participants and attendees are requested to strictly follow the schedule, as we have to hear almost 75 plus presentations. Keep your questions coherent and concise in a question answer session. I know that I'm too young to say this, but as an organizer, it is my kind request to all the speakers to stick to the time. We have gone through the permutation and combination to bring this schedule in your hand. So that's why it's my kind request to stick to the time. We have got almost 100 poster presentation with 30 each day. Participant, please reach out to our volunteers to set up your posters in morning and make sure to take them down in the evening. For oral presentation, we have 15. Day 2 will feature 5 talks during the session 6 at RPF 1, and day 3 will showcase the remaining 10 presentation during session 7 at same venue. We also have 5 young investors talks on day 2 during session 6 at RPF 1. We got you covered with breakfast before the session start, plus tea or coffee, that whatever the drink you like, in a break, so to keep you fueled. We are requesting everyone to stick the schedule, be cooperative with the volunteers, and keep the things organized during the busy time. Let us enjoy the food, make the connections, develop a scientific ecosystem, and have a good time together at the science meeting up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request our very own Professor Smita Zinzarde to deliver the vote of thanks for the inaugural session. She is the head Department of Biotechnology and has an extensive teaching and research experience in the area of microbiology. She plays a vital role in the holistic development of students. Give ma'am a huge round of applause.
A very good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, colleagues, registered participants, friends, and students. It is indeed a great pleasure to propose the vote of thanks at the inaugural function of this international conference, Biology Beyond Boundaries, organized by our department. As stated earlier, this year is special for us at Savitribai Phule Pune University as we complete 75 years of glorious existence. To commemorate this landmark achievement, a large number of activities, including this conference, are being organized on the campus. I vividly remember the day when our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Suresh Gosavi, visited the department and expressed his wish on holding this international conference of interdisciplinary nature. We took up this challenge, worked hard, and are making this event happen over the next 3 days. I take this opportunity to thank everybody who made this possible. Let's begin with the dignitaries on the diet. I would like to thank Dr. Cyrus Punawala, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Dr. Adar Punawala, Dr. Mohan Vani, our patron, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Suresh Gosavi, who have made it despite their busy schedules. A big thanks to our local convener, Professor Rajesh Gache, and our overseas convener, Professor Dhyan Chandra, who is here all the way from the US. I also see a large number of eminent personalities in the audience. Without naming them, I just thank everybody who's come here for this occasion. We are grateful to have you with us. Over 60, just like Santosh has just told us, we have over 60 national and international speakers who will be delivering talks mostly in person and some also in the virtual mode. We are privileged to have your august presence for the next few days. We have received an overwhelming response for this conference. There are over 240 students, 60 postdocs, scientists, faculty members, mainly from the life science departments who are on board. As Director, School of Life Sciences, I must put on record that all departments under the school are doing remarkably well with respect to academics and research activities. This conference will provide an apt platform for further interactions of faculty members and students with eminent personalities who have gathered here. I thank all the registered participants for your heartwarming response and hope that you will enjoy this academic feast. We express our heartfelt thanks to the authorities and supporting staff at the Department of Geology, SPPU Research Park Foundation, and E-Content Development and Learning Innovation Center for offering us this wonderful venue. The E-Content Development and Learning Innovation Center has also helped us in arranging virtual sessions and live streaming of this inaugural program. The staff at the University Press have burned the midnight oil to ensure that our abstract books are in place. I would also like to thank all our sponsors who have generously poured in resources to make this event a remarkable one. We are grateful to the university authorities for substantial financial support from the Amrut Mahotsav and other grants. This event would not have been possible without the wholehearted participation from faculty members, non-teaching staff, research scholars, and master students. They have been working tirelessly over the past few days. I have tried to acknowledge all those who helped us in this endeavor. A big thanks to anyone whom I may have missed out. I'm sure that the relentless efforts made by each of us will contribute in making this conference a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are about to conclude this session, but before that, I will request everyone to please stand up for our Rashtra Geet. After that, we all will proceed for high tea, and the first session is going to start sharp at 11:45 a.m. So please join in.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you.